Good afternoon. Here we go again. This is Rich. This is the Sunday stroll. A little bit later than normal. Had a busy morning, and I've just been for some afternoon tea. Lovely sandwiches, pigs in blanket, sausage rolls. There was some quiche, scones. How do you have yours? Do you have cream and jam, or jam and cream? And then there was a selection of cakes. I had a latte, cup of tea. Yeah, roll me out of there. Stuffed. Anyway, like I say, this is the Sunday stroll. We do this every Sunday after Ipswich Town games. Thank you for everybody who's subscribed. We've smashed through the 8,000 barrier. Next port of call, we want to get to 10k. 10k as quickly as possible. But please hit the like button. We will go for 125 likes today. We'll probably get more, but yeah, it doesn't take anything to just hit that like button. Turn your notifications bell on, so when there's a video dropping, you know all about it. Anyway, let's get into it. Town headed to the East Midlands yesterday to take on Nuno Espirito Santos, Nottingham Forest, flying high. The Tricky Trees, they've had a great start to the season. I was on Ben's stream on Friday night, Door on Tour. Go and check that out. He's done a little vlog of the game. Great guy, Ben. I was on with him and Dave from the 12 Man podcast, which I'm on every Thursday on YouTube at 7 p.m. So go check that out. Fans from all teams. Rival Talk it's called. So I'll be back on there Thursday. Busy week this week. Obviously Crystal Palace coming up on Tuesday night, 7:30 live on Amazon. Match preview coming tomorrow. Got a couple of Palace fans dropping some previews. So plenty of content, plenty of stuff going on. But yeah, Town went to the East Midlands looking to continue their 3-game unbeaten run. One change to the lineup as Connor Chaplin came into the starting 11 instead of Wes Burns. So that meant Chappers in the 10, Amari out to the right-hand side, and Wes was on the bench. Nathan Broadhead back on the bench for Town. So he was back on there. No Calvin Phillips. Jack Taylor was back fit. He came on the second half. No Calvin Phillips. No Ben Johnson. Hopefully they may be fit for Tuesday, but if you listen to McKenna after the game, it's probably looking like Bournemouth more for them. Anyway, yeah, let's get into the game. It was obviously tough place to go, the City ground. It was bouncing. It's a great atmosphere down there. Real old school feel to the stadium if you go there. It's not like these new builds. You go there, you're sitting in between Forest fans either side of you. So, yeah, I love going to the City ground. I know we've got a stinking record there, Town, and we never get anything there, and we didn't get anything yesterday, obviously. But still like going to Nottingham. It's a great city. It's lively. Lovely chippy after the game opposite Trent Bridge Cricket Ground. So, yeah, Town started very, very slowly once again. Slow out the blocks first 10 minutes. And obviously Forest at home, having lost their last 2 games, obviously off the back of Newcastle at home and then Arsenal away, looking to make a fast start, and they did. And Town struggled in them first 10 minutes to really get out and get on the ball. Gibbs White has a header that goes wide. There's another one that gets cleared off the line. Great clearance by Sammy Smodics off the line. Had a couple of corners. And Town were really struggling that first 10 minutes. And I think that's something we're probably going to have to address, the starts. And I'll talk about that at the end when I sort of sum up what I thought. So, yeah, but after that, we got in the game, got on the ball. And I think for the remainder of the half, I think Town were the better side. I think we had 5 corners. And I think we've got to start sort of taking advantage of some of these set pieces. Burgess, I think he did have a header cleared off the line. It's difficult to see because we were in the corner. And obviously, we were attacking the Trent end in the first half, but we had a lot of the ball. Chappers was getting some good ball in the little pockets, and mainly our play was coming down the right-hand side with Amari. Inconsistent referee, I thought, again. Obviously, Axel gets booked early. I don't think there's any doubt that was a yellow card. But I think it was Nico Williams gives away a foul on Amari, free kick on the right-hand side. Doesn't book him. Then he books Dara O'Shea for a foul. We actually give away 3. I think it was 3, yeah. The first started in the first half, edge of our box, left-hand side. So he got booked, O'Shea, which was no difference in that between that booking and the tackle that Nico Williams made. So he probably should have been booked, but he wasn't. And then Sam Morsey, he's a very lucky boy for me. Committed 2 fouls. Look, I know I've seen a lot of fans saying that they went to ground early, Forest and Jota Silva, I think. Good job he weren't playing last week in Storm Burt, because he'd have got blown away. Bless him. Hit the deck. So easy. But is it part of the game now? It probably is. Do Town need to be a bit more wise? Probably. Is it gamesmanship? It's part of the game now. It's not that I like it. I don't really like it. Little touch in there on the deck. But yeah, Town, the main chance we had in the first half, we didn't really create a lot, was the Hutchinson effort saved by Sells. And I think, I've not seen the replay back, Chaplin's there. He's got a good chance of popping away the rebound, and Liam Delap gets in his way, and I think he takes it off his toe, and the chance is gone. We're going in at half-time 0-0, thinking, look, it's obviously a very tight game. It's probably going to be whoever gets the first goal is going to go on and win the game. We're hoping it's Town, but we came out second half. We started so slowly again. This is becoming a little bit of a problem for me. Got to be quicker out the blocks. And we make a mistake. It's a poor pass from Chaplin in the middle of the pitch. Gets intercepted. Ball's moved into the penalty area. It's a penalty. Right. So this is where I am at with the penalty that was given, Jota Silva. The foul by Sammy Smodics. So I think it's soft, but I think it's a penalty. But then I look back on the Jack Clark incident against Everton, when it's given and then it's overturned by VAR. That probably should have been a penalty as well. I think they're both soft fouls, but they are fouls. And this is where the inconsistency comes in. And I think that's what probably drives supporters a little bit mad, that one's given, then it's overturned, whereas the other one's given, it's obviously checked, and it's the penalty's on the spot, and we're thinking, hello mate, little dog, look, there he is having a walk. Yeah, we're probably thinking, yeah, we created our own mistakes there, so ultimately we get punished eventually. You see these penalty takers nowadays, they're running up, they're stuttering, they're nearly stopping. Chris Wood wasn't great at Town on loan, let's be honest. Great penalty, runs up and just absolutely slams it into the roof of the net. It's 1-0. It's difficult then for the next 15 minutes. Muric does a great save, tipping it onto the bar. But at no point in that second half did I actually think that Town were going to score. They sort of, if you look at match of the day, I think they had 6 or 7 men behind the ball. The 2 centre halves, I thought, were outstanding for Forest. I thought Elliot Anderson was very good in front of the back four with Yates. And I just think they made it really difficult for Town. And I know people say, well, yeah, but why are they parking the bus? They're playing at home. If you listen to Nuno pre-match, obviously the last 2 games they've conceded 6 goals. And he said he wanted a clean sheet. So they've done the job. They closed up the space. If you look at the first half, Amari gets a lot of the ball on the right-hand side. Chaplin was picking up some really good pockets, and they got nullified, them two, which probably led to Delap being really quiet as well. Substitutions for Town yesterday. Nice to see Nathan Broadhead. He looked quite bright when he came off the bench, which was good. It's his first Premier League minutes, which is nice for him because he's obviously had his injury problems, and then got fit, and then I think he picked up another knock, didn't he, which made him miss the Wales camp. But I just think the subs, last year the subs were really effective for Town, bringing them on, scored a lot of late goals. And I just think it's your levels you're at now. The subs, I don't think, really had much of an impact yesterday, but I think it's harder because you're playing against obviously better players. And I don't think they were great. Harry Clark come on, obviously Axel. I think it's a hamstring, so that's a blow for Town because I don't think he definitely won't play on Tuesday night. Obviously they'll have to have it scanned, but you wouldn't want to be missing him for any length of time because I think he's our best. If I'm being honest, he's our best defender. He's our best 1v1 defender. No one can outrun him. No one can dribble past him. So if he's out for any length of time, it's a blow. It's a chance for Harry Clark if he comes in to obviously stake his claim. He's not really shown anything for me at the minute, Harry Clark. When he has played, I think he's struggled. But look, whoever plays on Tuesday night, we get behind and we give them our full support. So there'll probably be, I think, maybe two or three changes on Tuesday. Obviously, the turnarounds obviously played Saturday, Tuesday. It's our first night game. But yeah, getting back to the game, last 15 minutes, we probably had quite a lot of possession, but they just sat in and they just made it difficult for us. And that's on us to create something. That's not, people can moan and say, oh, Forest are parking the bus, they're playing at home. They got a 1-0 victory. It's all about winning. For me, it might not be the prettiest game, and it wasn't really a pretty game yesterday. I think if we went away from there and the game ended 0-0, I think both teams would probably accepted it. Were Forest a lot better than us? Probably not. But they got the goal, and then they made it very difficult for Town to break them down. And I think what I'm finding now is, I've said on here a couple of times, when you're on top in these games, you do need to score. So in the first half, we were on top with a better team. We probably need to take advantage of that, and we didn't. And then obviously the subs, I think in January, I think we need an injection of probably a bit more quality. We need another striker. We know that with obviously George Hurst out, and the Lap had to play the whole game yesterday because we see Al Hamadi come on against Man United and he really struggled. And I think yesterday you're losing, you're 1-0 down. You're probably going to want to keep Liam Delap on the pitch, and he's just going to have to be play as many minutes as he can. If you can get ahead in games, possibly then you can give him a bit of rest towards the end of the game if you're more comfortable in the game. But I don't think we're at that stage yet where we're going to be anywhere comfortable in games and winning them comfortably by 2 or 3 goals. I think if you look at the game against Palace, it's going to be a real tight game. Obviously, they got the draw yesterday, late goal against Newcastle, so that was a good point for them in the end. We haven't really lost a lot of ground when you look at the results. Obviously, Bournemouth beating Wolves. Everton have got smashed today 4-0. It was against United. Leicester losing 4-1. So we're well in the mix, but we really do need, as Danny Murphy said on Match of the Day this morning, it's all good playing well. Sooner or later, you need to put points on the board. And he's really right. And I wouldn't say I'm fed up, but I think it's time now for some fans are like saying, yeah, we're playing really well. It's great to be back in the Premier League, which it is, don't get me wrong. But sooner or later, we've got to stop patting ourselves on the back and saying, oh, yeah, it's great that people are saying nice things about us. It's time to start winning games, putting points on the board. And I don't think this week, I'm not saying they're going to be easy games by any stretch of the imagination against Palace and Bournemouth, but you've got 2 home games here that you really look to to take at least, I think, 4 points. A lot of people say we need to win both. And if we could get back-to-back wins, that would be really, really fantastic. But we just got to go one game at a time in a minute. Palace on Tuesday. It's going to be hard, but we're under the lights. Big crowd again. Big atmosphere needed. Really need to get behind the boys and hopefully push them over the line, because I think sometimes you just need that little bit of extra from the fans. I thought Forest fans yesterday were top draw. You know, got behind the team and they sort of helped them over the line in them final 10 minutes. And when the ball goes up for, I think it was 7 minutes injury time, I thought they really saw it out well. And they never really give us a sniff. And you're looking at Forest, third year in, you're thinking that could be us in 2 or 3 seasons if we can stay in the league this season, because that's all we need to do. We just need to be better than 3 other teams. And I think we've shown in spells that we're more than capable, but we've only won 1 game and we've played 13 games. And sooner or later, you need to start turning good performances into victories. And I'm not really bothered sometimes if we don't play that well and we win, because it's all about getting them 3 points and adding them up. And but at the minute, it's quite good that there's quite a few teams in the mix. I think Southampton obviously drew on Friday night at Brighton, which was a good result for them. Could have been a win if the goal had been given, the offside goal, but it wasn't. So they're on obviously 5 points, and then there's obviously 5 teams. And if we can keep it to that, where there's more teams in the mix, I think it's going to be really, really good for us going forward. If it comes down to like 2 places out of 3, that's when it's going to be more difficult. But obviously there's some big games, I think, in the week. Everton play Wolves. Obviously ourselves playing Crystal Palace. So it's just a case of hopefully we can take advantage of these 2 games back to back at home. I think we need a minimum of 4 points. I'd take 4 points. I really would like 6. I'm not being greedy, but it's time to get that first home win in the Premier League. But yeah, getting back to the game yesterday, I think you've got to take your hats off to Forest and Nuno for the job they've done on us. Wasn't a great game. Wasn't a great spectacle, if I'm honest. But if we'd have come away there with a point, I think we'd have been happy. I think if we'd have scored first, I think we'd probably go on and win the game. Because if you look at the game overall, Muric didn't really have a lot to do. I thought he was the top draw save where he's flicked it onto the bar. But we never really tested their goalie cells. Apart from obviously the shot from Hutchinson. Milenkovic and Murillo at the back. I thought they were outstanding for Forest. I think Nico Williams got man of the match for them. But yeah, going forward, they didn't really hurt us. We hung on when it was 1-0 in the game there, when it got a little bit hairy after we went 1-0 down. But Chris Wood, another goal for him. I think that's 9 for the season. He's having a real purple patch, and I think Forest are 22 points now. They're having a great start to the season. And fair play to them, and yeah, wish them the best of luck for the rest of the season. Good football club, great support, great old school feel to the stadium. Really enjoyed the day out, apart from the result, which was obviously disappointing. But we dust ourselves down and we go again, as they say, on Tuesday night. Anyway, cheers for watching, everyone. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Palace previews coming out my ears tomorrow. I'm on a Palace pod, I think it's called Back of the Nest, recording at 2:15 tomorrow afternoon. And then there's going to be a couple of Palace previews from the Back of the Nest. Can't remember what the other pod is, but I'll drop both of them on tomorrow and I'll do my own preview tomorrow afternoon. So give them a watch, give them a like, because it's great when people from other clubs get involved. Yeah, just give them your support. Doesn't take much to hit the like button, drop a comment. It's great to get loads of comments on the channel. But yeah, just got to keep the faith, stick with the boys, and see what this week brings. Anyway, man of the match yesterday for Town. I'll probably give it to the skipper, Sam Morsey. Thought he was decent. Subs didn't really have an impact, like I said. Thought we defended pretty well. Here's another one for you. Throwing coach. Town need a throwing coach. The throw-ins yesterday were abysmal. And I know people say, a throwing coach, Rich? What are you on about? Liverpool, under Klopp, employed a throwing coach. It's the little 1%ers for me that you've got to get right, and you can get the little gains. So if it was me, I would be employing a throwing coach. Anyway, cheers for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Super Sunday at 4. Liverpool City. See you next time.